Hey Crafty fam, what's going on? It's Alex Vanover, and today, as you can see, I have a special guest with me. My poor boss has never done a video with me before, but I convinced him to celebrate for 25,000 subscribers on my channel to finally come and hang out with me and do a video.
Well, first of all, I'm not that special. But
Special enough.
but I'll tell you, first of all, congratulations.
Thanks,
on
I'm so
25,
excited.
Because you guys have no idea how long it took me to get her to start doing more videos. So
He did. He's been telling me that for a long time, so
and
he knows what you guys want.
Yeah, and it's really taken off. Your channel's done extremely well, and so this is exciting. It's an exciting platform to reach, and it's all going to be fun, more and more fun from here on out.
It is super fun. And yes, you guys, so Troy is the whole reason that I ever got on YouTube. I'll be honest, I really never even thought about starting the YouTube channel until I started working here, and Troy said, you'd be good at this, so I guess you should try it.
Yeah, we had an event here in Louisville 2 years ago.
Yep.
In June, May
Yeah,
or June.
yeah. It was like July 4th weekend.
And the person that was working in marketing with us at the time, she was leaving. She was going back to school for her master's. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And Alex came to the event, and I don't know, a couple days after the event, I messaged her and I said, "What do you do for a living?" And she said, "I work in marketing." I was like, "Really?"
Weird.
And so it's all worked out good for all of us.
Yeah,
so,
it's been awesome. And you'll never guess, you guys will probably understand the feeling, because when I got a message from Troy Young, I was blown away as to what he might want with me. So, and now here we are today. How funny is that?
Yeah, it took us 2 years to make a video together. So.
I know. How long is it going to be before we do some more? So let us know in the comments if you want us to do some more videos. Maybe he'll have some more time for me and we can do some other stuff.
Yeah, I have a feeling she's going to make me play with glitter. So we'll
you already know that we're going to play with glitter.
Yeah.
So I decided to pull Troy out of his comfort zone just a little bit, and we're getting out of both of our comfort zones because we're playing with the Cricut Joy today. So I'm super pumped to see how this little guy works, and it's going to be super fun.
Do my Vanna White.
So beautiful, so small. So let's go over to the overhead camera and get started. All right, Troy, so teach me about the Cricut Joy.
Okay, so the Cricut Joy is a little machine that kind of looks like an easy bake oven to a degree.
It does,
but
definitely.
If you pick it up, you'll see that it is
Wow,
not.
that's actually kind of heavy.
It is a stout little machine.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
And, carrying this thing back from Cricut a few weeks ago in my backpack was not very easy.
Yeah.
It added some weight, and it is pretty small. The cut path here between the rollers is, I think, 5.5 inches wide. And it is, there's only one cord, the power cord. There's no buttons or anything, just the flashing light
No
up
buttons,
here.
so you just push it against the rollers to load it?
Yep, everything's done with the software, and just push it to feed it.
That's
And
super cool.
it comes with a couple of mats. It comes with the green mat, standard grit mat. So if you're cutting any regular materials like StarCraft HD or Easy Weed or something like that, you can do that on here.
So you don't need like the track along your vinyl if you use the mat?
Yeah, you can use the mat. And then, good point, is the smart vinyl that Cricut puts out.
Sorry, I was jumping ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right.
Because that's what I've seen a lot in a lot of the advertisements is the little track here that like feeds it in. But if you're doing it on a mat anyway, then you don't need to cut that into your vinyl.
Right.
That's good news. Then you don't have to waste any.
And this backing is much heavier than the permanent vinyl is.
Huh.
I think the permanent vinyl must have like a 2 or 3 mil plastic backing.
Okay.
And the premium vinyl, and then that has to be like a 4 or 5 mil plastic backing.
Yeah, it's substantial. That's definitely thick.
Yeah, to cut without the mat. The one thing I'll say that I noticed is when you cut off pieces, you can see I kind of cut that with scissors, so it's not very straight. But before I would feed this in, I would probably want to put this on a rotary, like a paper cutter, and cut it perfect.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of people using rotary blades when they were getting stuff ready for this, like cutting paper or anything.
Because when you feed it in, if it's not cut straight, it's going to touch one roller before the other, and it tends to want to grab it.
Okay.
So I've been careful to cut it straight. Now, I have cut some other material without it, just testing and playing around.
Okay.
But I haven't had consistent results yet, so I can't say one way or another whether a lot of times it cuts into the paper backing with adhesive vinyl without a mat.
Yeah.
So that's kind of up in the air right now as far as I'm concerned. I can't say that that it's a great thing to do yet to cut without a mat if you're not using the Cricut Smart Vinyl. So just don't want to go there yet. But the other mat that it comes with is the card mat, and the card mat is really kind of unique. This is a pack of cards from Cricut.
Okay.
It comes with a dozen cards, inserts, and envelopes, and the inserts are all different colors.
That's cool.
So we got 3 different colors in this pack.
Okay.
We have 3 different colors of cards.
So you can coordinate with whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And then the mat itself, when you cut a card, has this really cool clear insert on top.
Okay.
That also has adhesive on it.
So that's where the stickiness is on the mat.
Right.
Oh, that's neat.
And if I put my card in the insert, these are pre-folded cards. You see that it has alignments there.
You know where you're in the right
You
place.
stick it down, and now we're able to cut the top of the card without cutting the bottom of the card.
That is super cool. This was the thing that people really ranted and raved about it. We're super excited to see. So I'm excited to play with this and see how it works.
Yeah, it's like almost the most ingenious, simple thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to this card
and it's
making.
almost like, it seems like it wouldn't be all that hard to do it with a regular mat, really, but
somebody
it's
just
so
had to think
smart.
of it first.
Yeah. I really like this machine for cards. That's like, as far as what I think you should buy the Joy for, I think if you are a habitual card maker, I think that's the best reason to buy it.
Yeah, and these these pre-made card kits are great too. They're ready to go. You put them in, you cut, you draw, which brings up a point. It also came with a pen. I have a black pen here.
Cool.
So we'll use it in a minute. But the Cricut has taken some knocks for the blade and the pens not being the same as the other machines, but it's a newer technology. It's a newer machine. It's more compact. I've always hear people talk about switching to a different machine, and if they switch to a different brand, they're not going to be able to use their accessories anyway.
Right.
So I don't understand the reasons behind some of that, but I do think the machine is great. I think it has a great audience. A couple suggestions people brought up was they wanted one of these to put in their RV. And then someone else said they wanted one just to keep in their family room under the table, so if they wanted to make something real quick, they could pull it out and do it.
It's so much more convenient.
Yeah, without having to carry their maker from one room to the other.
Well, and it is heavy. I mean, it's a big machine, and it's great because it does so much. But yeah, I can definitely see why you'd want to do that. You keep talking. Let me grab my computer charger.
Yeah.
I killed my computer. Yeah, I definitely think that there's something to it. I don't know that it's the machine for me, but I really like that it's another option that we have now.
Yeah, and a lot of people need to realize that this is a hobby.
Right.
And so to buy something like this for your hobby to play with is an attractive thing. I mean, I've been having a lot of fun just making simple things with it and playing around and learning it. And I've been very, very, very pleased with what Cricut's done with it and the quality and everything. It's a pretty nice little machine that does quite a bit.
Well, I think that there are a lot of people, a lot of us, like obviously you and I, go a lot further once we start learning about something. But there are a lot of people who do not consider themselves crafters. They really just want to keep it simple. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And this is the perfect machine to do that.
Right. And the other thing I should point out about the Smart Vinyl that they make with the 2 tracks, they sell it in, I think, 10 and 20 foot rolls.
Yeah.
And the machine will cut a 20-foot length.
Okay.
That is 4 foot images that are repeated. So
5 times. As many as 5 times.
So if you wanted to have the example they showed on their live was a giraffe pattern to put around the wall. I think.
Like wallpaper.
Yeah. So it was a seamless pattern that was 4 foot long, and when you cut it back to back, you can't tell where the seams are. So you could use that for a border around the rim.
So kind of larger than matte, but thin.
Right.
Kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you're doing decals, if you're doing, I would have killed to have had one of these 3, 4, 5 years ago when we were doing craft shows. Tammy and I used to do craft shows to put food on the table. And to have something like this, I don't think there's a single thing I cut at a craft show that wouldn't have been cut on this machine.
And if you did, you could just cut it the other direction
Right.
and make it a little bit bigger.
Right, so up to 4.5 inches wide or whatever the vinyl is, and then,
But as far as width, when you turn it the other way, I mean, that's pretty substantial.
Yeah,
if you turn it from sideways to this way and put it straight in the machine, 4 to 5 inches wide is plenty.
Yeah, so that tall and up to 4 foot on one image is pretty impressive.
I think that's super reasonable. So, you know, the burning question that everyone wants to know is 651 vinyl going to carry vinyl that can be in the Joy that's non-Cricut brand?
A lot of things depend on that.
Okay.
A lot of things depend on demand and whether there could be any downsides to doing so. I have, before I can do that, I have to be able to put my seal of approval on it. People aren't going to have problems. And you know, to be able to say this is what you can, the materials you can use and things like that. And then there's a question about whether or not, you know, honestly, whether or not Cricut is going to frown upon people cutting other materials without a mat if it's not meant to feed properly.
Yeah.
My tests so far have been very inconclusive about getting consistent results. And you know, if you, I know there are people out there who use their Air and their Explorer without a mat, and it's risky business to a degree, because if something happens and the vinyl gets stuck on the roller and it rolls up around there and you have to get, you know, what's that going to do to your warranty?
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of questions about that. There's a lot of fascination with people cutting without a mat for some reason.
Yeah.
But I just think the mats are not that expensive and they're easy to clean and take care of.
Too. They don't.
You know,
they don't seem to be such an inconvenience to me that I want to get rid of them.
Right.
I think the idea that you can do it is really exciting.
Yeah.
I just don't really see why you'd want to.
Right.
But I mean, you know, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever people think.
We did a lot of projects one time that I could cut out of a sheet of 12-inch vinyl I was using a Silhouette at the time, and it was kind of convenient just to be able to set the vinyl in there and feed it without a mat and cut it. But I didn't see it as a huge inconvenience if I had used a mat.
Right.
So,
Well, I would think that you would have to be careful about what you were cutting, because say you were cutting a mandala, you could not have that kind of free range without a mat.
Right.
So if you were doing something simple, okay, fine. But, you know, you really have to be careful.
And the other thing about using a mat is being able to just use small pieces.
True.
So
All scraps.
Just scraps. So that's,
People love
that's when
their
it attracts
scraps.
you. So a lot of people who get big, you know, big cutters, you know, 24, 36, 54-inch cutters and everything, they limit their ability to be able to use
I can
scraps.
see that. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, I'm super cool to see I'm super excited to see how this guy is gonna work.
Well, you're super cool too.
Oh, thanks. You know. So I'm pumped, and we are gonna do a little thank you card. So we're each gonna cut the same card, and then we're gonna decorate it, you know, however. We're gonna get colorful and glittery. But this card is going to draw, and then it's gonna cut. So Troy's gonna put the pen in there first.
Now here's one of the important things about the pen
Okay.
is on the Cricut Maker and the Explorer, you snap it down into the holder.
Okay.
This one doesn't have that. You just put it down in there all the way and
Oh,
lock it.
so it's kind of
So-
built in. The size of it's kind of built in, and
Right.
there's no click.
Right.
Oh,
It's not like a
interesting.
pen holder where it
It's
locks
like
in.
wider. It looks wider
Yeah.
than the regular Cricut pens.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we've already have the project loaded on the computer.
Yes, and this is one of the free projects, by the way. So if you just go to InDesign Space under Free for Cricut Joy, you can find this card. I do not have Cricut access, so you must not need access to get to this card.
Yeah, they do have a bunch of free projects out there.
And then I'm going to choose Insert Cardstock.
Yes.
Is Insert Card, is that what that mat means?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Cool. So it's the first option here, actually. That's easy. So, okay.
All I did was push it in.
So it just knows. Ooh,
You
it's
notice I
reading.
broke my mat. I broke the corner off my mat, but it doesn't affect it. So,
Okay.
So we're good.
Cool. And then I click go on the computer.
Yeah,
Which
it's
I
all-
guess you always click go, but then you don't have to press any buttons.
Yeah, it's all operated by the software, so you don't have
That
to
is
push any
super
buttons
cool.
on the Joy itself.
Gosh. I think it's so cute. I could watch this thing go all day.
You know me though, I wish they would have made a red one or a black one.
Yes, different color choices.
Particularly red.
Yeah. I wonder if they will, though, because they've done that with their other machines. They've always come out with more colors.
They're going to reduce the number of colors they're making in some of the machines.
Okay.
It's expensive for the factories to
That makes sense.
swap out, because every time they do a color change, they have to shut down their entire assembly factory basically. You know, this is injection molded plastic, It all has to be clean. It's a
Oh.
huge undertaking to shift colors.
Well, I think it makes
Yeah.
sense to offer a handful instead of what they do. Like they have
Right.
the number of colors they have for the Explorer Air 2 is wild.
Yeah, it's like going to a car dealership.
Yeah.
You pick your color.
Well, and I always see stuff online that I've never seen before where they have like the Michaels colors and then Cricut has more
Right.
colors. And I'm always like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that
Yep.
they offered that. It's crazy.
All right.
Cool. So the drawing's done. We just
take the pen out.
So you didn't have to unload it. You're just switching the tools
Yeah,
out.
just switching the tools, and you just drop it down in there and lock it.
Okay. And then I have the button for go on my computer again. And now it's going to cut the design.
And it seems to cut extremely accurate, just like the Explorer Air and the Explorer Maker. I'll tell you, Cricut makes fabulous machinery.
Yeah, they really
Their
do.
machines are quality. I mean,
Yeah.
it's even, you know, the quality of the plastic.
Yes.
It is so high.
Honestly, guys, I think it feels like a small kitchen appliance.
Yeah.
When I pick it up, I mean, it really does feel like a nice handheld mixer or something
Yeah.
like that. Like, it definitely does not feel cheap when you touch it. And I kind of like this finish on the outside. It's
Yeah,
a little
it's a
bit
little-
more like,
It's not glossy.
yeah,
Like
it's matte. It feels more durable,
soft,
maybe.
soft looking.
Yeah, yeah.
Looks good in a craft room.
Yes. Looks
I
beautiful.
want a red one. I don't have a craft room. I have an office.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
And just about finished cutting here. And
It's
you
pretty
can tell
quick.
that, yeah, and it cuts, you'll see how fine it cuts here.
What's the most intricate thing you've cut so far? Have you gone intricate with it yet?
I've done some test cuts. I think this is probably pushing the limits of what I've cut so far with it. But I've done some test cuts that were pretty,
Cool.
pretty good.
So I'm going to click unload here so Troy can take this out.
All right. Now here's the cool part. So we have our little red scraper here. We sell these on our website. We literally call it the little red scraper.
Mhm.
It's a really hard plastic. It's almost sharp enough to cut you. Actually,
Yeah.
probably stab somebody with that.
It's in a bag on
So-
our shelf so you don't cut yourself.
So we'll slide that under there. And when I lift this up, that insert is
Oh, that's cool.
sticky. So it weeded it for me.
So it's
basically.
literally, if you wanted to leave it at that, you
Yeah.
could stick the background and it could be done.
And then we can just take our little red scraper and pop this off of there. And
Yes,
You can
I was
look at how
making wedding
thin.
invitations and I use the little red scraper. I love it.
that's how thin it cuts.
Man,
Now,
that's impressive.
secret, of course, cutting paper and cardstock is your mat being kind of sticky. So,
Yes,
if
holding it still.
Yeah, if it's not holding it down, it's going to tear.
Yeah.
And what I tell people is, you know, if you imagine this blade is slicing through it at an angle like that,
Mhm.
and so if this isn't held down tightly, it's going to snag it and pull it up. And
Yeah.
tear. So, but that is
Sticky mat, you heard it here first, folks.
that.
Cool.
But you can't have it too sticky
Oh, and then
because
we
then
got to do it again.
it'll tear your paper. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna do the
yeah,
second one.
and another strategy, of course, with this one, you don't need to do it this way because it's literally made for paper. But another strategy is to flip your mat over and to actually peel your mat away from the paper instead of trying to curl your paper to get it off your mat.
Or vinyl. Vinyl. will do
Yeah,
it
that
too.
works well too. That's so true.
All right. So
We start with the pen.
Oh, that's right. Put the pen back in.
Do one more of these. So while we're waiting for this to work, do you want to talk about alcohol inks and all that cool stuff?
Yes, because I need to understand some of this
Yeah.
stuff.
Whoops. So this is an alcohol ink tint that I brought from home. Oh, I should probably click go, huh? All right. So I brought this little tin from home, which I love, and I believe we're going to be carrying these soon anyway. But alcohol inks are a lot of fun. They dry quickly, and a little bit goes a long way. And really, they're just kind of full of experimentation. Now, of course, when you're using them on paper, you can't like go and wipe them off the way that you can with a regular, hard surface like an acrylic.
Right.
So you have to be careful. But there's lots of different ways to apply it too. I use this little round dabber, and this is my like tool of preference because I just think it's really easy. And then they have these little felt pads that you just stick on, and so you can either add the ink. Yeah, I guess on paper you'd want to add the ink directly to the pad, and then you can kind of use the edges to kind of shade it or like concentrate it,
Yeah.
and then you can mix the colors kind of on the pad together.
Okay.
So that's one option. And I also brought us some makeup sponges.
And this stuff's super thin, isn't it?
Yes,
Like
it runs very much.
So.
We are going to wear gloves today because it's very messy. And I also like to use makeup sponges. These are like Walmart makeup sponges. And I think they work great as well for just blending and kind of getting it around a little bit. So this is another tool of preference of mine.
All right, we're finished writing.
Okay.
So we'll put the knife or the fine point blade back in. Okay. I hope Cricut comes up with a way to come up with more tools for it.
Yeah,
It'll
that would be
interesting
cool.
to see if they can do some other tools for this as well.
Yeah, that'd be super cool. I think it's powerful enough. I mean, it seems like it to me, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, there's enough clearance. It looks like the thin acrylic might go into there if you could engrave with it.
That would be cool.
I'm speculating. I mean, it's hard to say.
Who knows? Well, and Cricut's pretty awesome. They'll come up with some good stuff for us. I'm sure they will. So, so you have your choice between like a dabber and a makeup sponge. And then another thing that I love doing, at least with cards, is using like just clear glue and putting it down, and then you can kind of mix glitter together on your card, so that you can kind of make a custom mix. So if you wanted to do, maybe you wanted to do butterflies wings, you could do a little something on there, and it's just really easy and fun to put your own glitter mixes together.
That'll probably add a little bit of texture to it too.
Yeah. And another thing I did want to say that's hard for you guys to tell, these card inserts are really nice paper. I am not a paper expert, so I can't tell you for sure. It kind of reminds me of linen.
Yeah, it's almost like a cotton bonded cardstock.
So this is not just 65-pound cardstock if you guys decide to buy these like insert pack things. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, hit unload there. Go ahead and stick that in, and we'll show them, give them
an
an
so you see the background
of what it will look like, but then they'll see what it's really going to look like when we do our work to it, because we're going to dress it up a little bit.
Yes, we are. So you stick the little insert in these slots that are already cut, and then it really illuminates the background. So the bottom will be a little more even. I didn't pop those in there, but they'll go in when we're done. So you can do butterfly wings, you could go in around your shape and do some stuff, or you could just do, I don't know, you could accent this side or this side. You can kind of do whatever you want.
So the same card, two different inserts, two different colors.
So let's give this a shot.
Okay.
I'm going to move my laptop out of the way before I get it really messy.
Yeah. Any ink on it?
No, that would be a sad day. I love alcohol ink, but it's definitely messy.
Cricut Joy out here too.
Not a bad idea. So what do you want to start with, glitter, or do you want to start with ink?
I think we start with ink.
I think so too.
Because I think the glitter, you're going to have to let the glue dry. So
yeah, and then you won't really be able to do much. I dropped Molly. You get her back. Sorry, Molly. We'll set her up here. She can craft with us too.
Watch.
So I would think my plan is to go in with this thank you area. Yeah, I'm going to open it up so that I don't get it on the back. I think I'm going to go in this thank you area with the ink, and then around the outside I'm going to do glitter and glue.
Okay.
That's my plan.
Okay.
So do you want to start with makeup sponges, or do you want to start with the dabber?
Let's do makeup sponges.
Okay.
I'll do makeup sponge.
So you need the big gloves. Yeah. I think these feel like little ones. And that's another reason why I love these mats too, because these guys, this way we don't dye our black or our white craft table with all different colors of dye.
I feel like I'm about ready to burglarize.
I know the black gloves are a little scandalous. Okay, so you want to try the makeup sponges. So I would just grab some ink. It's a good idea to shake it up.
What do we have? Blues, crimson, flamingo.
Flamingo's kind of light.
Cranberry. Cranberry might look good.
Ooh, and that would look good with your insert, where yours is like the darker color.
Yeah.
So it's really just kind of a feel it out kind of thing. That's the good and the kind of scary part.
Ooh, that stuff is thin.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it like flows right out.
So is that what you would typically do?
Yeah.
Just put some on there like that?
And just give it a shot. I'm going to start, that's a good idea. I'm going to start with Laguna.
Almost looks like a baby's foot.
Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah, and you can definitely cut these. The angled makeup sponges work really well too. It just depends on what you have. But the fun thing that I love about alcohol inks is you can literally use just whatever you have around the house. You can use straws to give them like a blown pattern. Not necessarily on paper, but you can do that with harder surfaces.
This is kind of cool because if
Yeah.
it's kind of pressure sensitive. If you squeeze it, you're gonna get more ink out of it.
Yeah. Well, and then you start putting different colors on there, and they blend together really pretty. It's fun.
All right, so now I'm gonna try a different color.
Yeah.
Just go with the crimson, maybe it's a little shade lighter.
It kind of went a little darker than I intended to, but that's okay.
Well, the paper's gonna soak it up pretty good.
That's true, and especially because
So-
this is nicer, thicker paper, it's definitely going to do that. Need to pick another color to blend it with. It's looking a little bit monotoned.
So that's what I did. I got the crimson and the cranberry.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a nice mix.
That's a nice little blend, and they're kind of monotone, so they're in the same like color family. That's fun.
Let's see here.
So I saw your live the other night. Is Tammy getting you to do glitter tumbler? So she finally talked you into it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to fold and start
Yes.
messing with tumblers.
It's
I think-
about time.
I think everybody wants to see me work with glitter. As
I
much
know
as
I
they-
do.
Anything. Oh, this will be a nice little color here.
Oh yeah, that'll be cute.
Nice light color.
What should I? Ooh, I'm gonna try. So the mixatives are really interesting. They are really, really overpowering. So you have to use them in very, very small doses. So I'm gonna try a little bit of snow cap over top my teal and see if I can bring some lighter colors into that. But they are definitely something you want to approach
So
it
what's
with
it do?
caution. So it is kind of like, it's just like an alcohol ink except it's more overpowering. So you want to use literally, like I have 2 drops of this where I have a whole like side of teal, and it just adds another layer of dimension. A lot of them are metallic. This one's just
okay.
plain white,
I got you.
but most of them are metallic.
Okay.
See, look how much stronger that is out of 2 drops, whereas I probably had 4 drops of the other
So
one.
what are the different mixatives we have?
There are,
Pearl.
there's pearl, gold, rose gold, silver, tons of them. Ooh, pearl would be pretty.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try
Yeah, that'll be cool.
So it's a highlight.
Yes, exactly. A lot of people use it when they're like marbling a tumbler to create like veins.
Okay.
It's just it's just an accent color. It's not something that you don't want to take the whole design over with it. But sometimes I love the mixatives, so sometimes I'll do my whole design with mixatives.
Oh yeah, that adds
See
a
it?
little.
Yeah. Just adds a little bit of texture and just does something a little different.
And it's probably having a little different effect on the cardstock because it's soaking in too.
Yeah,
I think, than what
yeah.
you would see on a tumbler. But yeah, I see that.
How it kind of just makes everything pop.
I think I'm gonna stop with the inks because
Okay,
I think I've got
you're
enough.
good.
Yeah. I don't wanna.
Yeah,
Overdo
you don't.
it.
Yeah, and it's
Put the
quick. It's
card in.
easy to do that because you
Actually,
go
look.
from. Ooh, that's pretty.
So
Good job, Troy. Good job.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we have had so much fun telling people about the inks. They have actually been a lot more excited than I thought they
Yeah,
would be.
they
Like
do.
I'm really shocked.
They're like selling like crazy.
Yeah, people
Uh,
are obsessed because they're learning all these things
so-
they can do.
So here's the tip: be careful when you've got ink all over your gloves to not handle your cards too much.
Yeah,
So
because you could end up like
'cause
contaminating it all.
I'm fingerprinting my cards and everything here.
What kind of goes with your style? You got
Yeah.
lucky.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Try not to leave fingerprints with these black gloves.
Yeah.
Like a burglar.
Look a little shady. Cool. Well, that kind of worked out well for me because I was able to lighten it up. So now when I put the teal behind it, you'll be able to see it again.
All right.
If I left it,
Yeah,
you
it might
see?
blend in a little too much.
yeah. So that worked out kind of
Yeah.
well. So it's pretty stuff though. Oh, so it did soak in through the back of my paper, but luckily I have an insert that's going
Yeah.
there, so it won't matter.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that is
mine
something
did
to
too.
keep in mind. Huh. Yeah, I'll have to work on that because if you were making a card without an insert,
Yeah. It
that'd
might
be
be
a
a
real
good
problem.
idea to keep like an acetate sheet or something.
Yeah, behind
To
it so
keep
you
it
can
from
like
soaking
wipe it
through.
off. but it dries super fast, so it's already dry on my mat, and
Yeah.
we can wipe it off with alcohol later.
Yeah.
So that's super easy to clean up. All right, so let's get to the glitter.
Oh boy.
Okay, so we're gonna use popsicle sticks, and we're gonna kind of first like spread where you want your glitter to go with the clear glue. But let's pick our glitter colors before we do anything else. So do you want to stick with your pinks?
See,
I don't have all the glitter colors in here.
Paradise Pink.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun.
That's what'll go well with mine, I think.
I think I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna go with like gold.
So we have the StarCraft glitter.
Uh-huh.
So.
These are both holographic.
We have on like 110 different ones or something like that now.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
not
close
quite
to
that many,
it.
but close to it.
Yeah. We have tons of options. We don't have every single color in here, but Troy's gonna use Paradise Pink, and I'm gonna use Sunshine, which is also holographic. So holographic just means that it has this rainbowy sheen to it. It's a little bit different than regular metallic glitter.
You know, what's interesting on the glitter I've been seeing is that people aren't really paying too much attention to what they're getting versus what they're paying.
Interesting.
So someone the other day told me that they were pointing out that someone else had glitter, there were no way they would pay that much for glitter.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, could you share with me where you're buying?
Yeah.
I always look for feedback.
Yeah.
And they were paying $8 for 2 ounces. And they said, well, it's by weight, not by volume. And I said, yeah, but our volume of a 4-ounce bottle contains between about 3.5 to 4.5 ounces, and
Right.
it was $11.
Yeah, yeah.
So there was a big difference.
There is definitely a big difference. These
people
are
were
big shakers, you guys.
Yeah.
If you are in the glitter tumbler world already, you probably know that. But if you're new to glitter, seriously, these are big, and they're full pretty much to the top.
Yeah, and so I was really shocked at you know, the people aren't really looking at what they're getting for what they pay for.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever thought about it before.
And a lot of the sites I've seen show these shakers in their pictures, but then when you go to buy it, it's in 2-ounce bags.
Yes.
So they're being
it's
very
often
tricky.
in bags, and then you lose a bunch of glitter putting it into a shaker yourself.
Right.
So you just kind of gotta weigh out what you're gonna do there. You get more for your money for sure with the bigger size.
So let me see what you're going to do first.
Okay.
Because I have an idea. And
Yeah,
I want to see what you're going to do.
So I have a popsicle stick. Honestly, actually, we have a bunch of paintbrushes. I'm gonna use paintbrush. I think that'll give me a better
Yeah,
look.
with the glue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm basically just gonna paint my glue into the areas that I want to accent. So I'm not gonna use any glitter yet because I don't want to contaminate my glue with glitter. But I'm just gonna like paint in my butterfly and a few things like that just to lay down a real thin coat.
That's why I wanted to see what you were doing, because
Yeah. It's
I didn't know if
easy.
I was going to do the same thing or not.
And I might go in a couple leaves and highlight those and stuff like that. It is making the ink run a little bit. So you got to be a little careful of how much you use.
Yeah, well, the ink's going to be behind it.
Yeah, so you really shouldn't see it. But if you're using like a lighter glitter, or like if you use like Mermaid Kisses that's a little more translucent, you do risk running things a little bit. And this is not fancy. I just got this from like the back to school section back when school was going back. It's just washable clear Elmer's glue. But it works great for projects like this.
So I take it we're pretty much going to put our glue on here and then sprinkle it.
Yep, it's that simple. You could do some other stuff too, but I think I'm going to leave mine as more of an accent. I think it's always the good way to go.
You know what we need to do?
What?
Is we need to come up with a project that's a glitter bomb.
That would be amazing. I'd set off a glitter bomb in my own craft room.
You would.
Well, actually, it's kind of already set up like that. I'll be honest. I mean, every time I vacuum, I literally track glitter all over the house. My poor kitty has glitter all over him. It's just how it is at my house now.
That's why they come up with these new vacuums in the last 10 years. They have all the filters in them.
Yeah, yeah. We need a glitter filter.
It's all for the glitter. It has nothing to do with dust and allergies. It's for the glitter.
It's for the sickos like me.
All right. So I got glue all over mine.
Yep, I got it on mine too. Okay.
Okay, so this one still has the seal in it.
Yeah, when they're brand new, they do have that seal inside.
A lot of people don't realize that they could keep these for their little samples if they wanted to see which.
Ooh, that's a good
it's got
idea.
glitter all over
Yeah,
it. So
yeah.
I've seen some people like putting these in like
Like a little
sheet
binder.
protectors and stuff.
Yeah,
So
that'd be cool.
well, that glitter is fine.
It's pretty.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like dust.
Yeah, that's why it's so hard to clean. I already got it everywhere because I was checking to see if mine's open.
So I'm just going to lightly dust. I'm not going to put too much on.
Yeah.
I want the color to show through behind it. So, trash can here.
And this flattens out really nicely. Like, you won't be able to see this glue when you're done.
I'll check that out.
That's pretty. Good job, Troy. Your first glitter project.
It is.
So you guys don't know how much convincing it took to get Troy to get glitter in this warehouse. He was against it. We broke him down meeting by meeting. We begged and we begged and we swore you guys would love it.
It was almost like a coup.
Yeah. We held Troy hostage until he'd give us glitter. And StarCraft just came out with such a good product, it's hard to say no. Since we already carry all of the StarCraft products that we love so much, it would be tough to not carry their glitter too.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Except for my little fingerprint there.
Yeah,
I
I filled in my butterfly's wings.
I could,
Oh yeah, lighten it a little bit. Yeah. You could probably even use shell pink as like kind of the light color.
Yeah.
You could even go in and like do that.
Okay. I got little smudges all over. It's kind of fits
fine.
in.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to put my insert in here, but I've got glitter all over my fingers.
So.
Oh, I touched it.
You would have your set, your card, your insert.
So
Finished card
cool.
and your envelope.
Look how cute. These turned out so
the gold
fun.
looks good.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a nice like pop with the teal. And I love that like the butterfly's wings have like the teal around them and stuff and the leaves to show through.
Which one is that?
Sunshine.
Sunshine. And this is Paradise Pink.
Yeah.
So those, I know people are going to ask.
Yes, absolutely, always. I'll link
They're
those
also
in the
going to ask
description
what
for you
font
guys.
that is. Everybody's what font is
Who
that?
knows? Who knows? Cricut did it.
I could be doing a video on a car accident or something. Somebody want to know what the font is on the side of the tow truck.
Yeah, what font is that
What font
decal?
is So, wonderful.
I love it. Well, this was a lot of fun. And I'm proud of you, Troy. You finally got out of your comfort zone.
That was quick and easy,
And let me
too.
teach you some glitter.
If we were just doing it, we would have been done a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was easy.
Yeah, I mean,
really easy.
It probably took you and me less than 10 minutes of total time actually working on this. We've been chatting a lot and stuff, so it took us a lot longer. But honestly, through and through, you could do that card in 10 minutes. And you could have your kids decorate this card. I mean, it would be so much cuter if you had little kid handwriting all over it, or painting, or glitter, or whatever.
You got a nice place inside to write on both sides of it.
And you could even get the Cricut to write it if you decided you wanted to do that. You could
Correct.
do your own message.
Yep.
So you don't have to write anything at all. Because if you're like me, I have super sloppy handwriting, so I hate the idea of like ruining my card.
Yeah, there's a reason I type all
Yeah. I mean, it's just not pretty. So that's exactly what I would do. But I love it. And thanks for teaching me about the Cricut Joy. That was super fun.
Yeah, it is a nice little machine. I love it. I've been really impressed with it.
Yeah.
And still got a lot more playing and testing to do with it. But
Absolutely.
It is definitely a fun machine.
Yeah.
And they've made some really good products like this that make it easy to use. So and that's
a no-brainer.
Yeah, and that really helps. I mean, there's a lot of people who want to do things,
Yes.
but they don't have confidence in their creativity.
Yes.
And I've always said I am not a creative person. I'm a semi-creative person. So it takes me a long time to come up with something I like.
Mm-hmm.
But with this, I was able to pick it. Dab some
You
ink
like
on
did
it.
your own thing,
Yeah.
but you didn't have to
Yeah.
do the fundamentals. It kind of takes care of all of that for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to cut straight. Like I always tell people, I'm a crafter who can't even cut a straight line.
Yeah.
Like to save my life. But my Cricut takes all that work out of it for me so that I can focus on the fun.
Yeah. All right. So you see how easy these were to make.
So
These
fun.
finished thank you cards. This was the free project for the Cricut Joy.
I'll link it for you guys in the description if you want to try it.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of them in there too. The way you find it, here's the thing. When you click on My Projects and you pull the drop down that says all the project categories, it actually, there's a section that starts with free, and it says free for the Maker, free for the Joy, free for the Explorer Air. And so those are the areas you want to look at for these free
I think
projects.
that's definitely a forgotten space. At least I forget about it all the time. But you don't have to have Cricut access to do the actual free projects. I don't have Cricut access, and we pulled that up no problem.
Yeah, and there's a ton of other free stuff in there too. And honestly, these would not be that hard to design yourselves, especially with some of the elements that you can get from things like design bundles
Yeah.
that are made for like, especially if they're ones for the foil quill.
They're single line.
Single lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
then you won't get that outline, is what that means.
Drawing or engraving, anything like that. The single lines, instead of it being the machine can only follow a path, which is, I describe it as a roadway. It's the path the blade has to move along. And so people ask why it doesn't color in and fill. Well, it's not a printer. It can only follow the path. It's a CNC machine. And you can get around some of that with cross hatching and things, but it takes a really long time.
It's a lot of effort.
Because literally, if you had a pen in your hand, you would literally have to draw it and then color it in. That's the way the machine would work. So some of those elements like that are single lines and writing fonts and all that, they're great for these things, the engraving, all that stuff. This might look neat if it was even engraved.
Oh,
there's
on
a
a
lot
piece of
of
acrylic.
So much you can do. So I think the point of the video, was to show you how to make a project with the Cricut Joy and use our alcohol inks, which is new to me. First time I ever questioned it.
Yeah. By the way, guys, Troy had no background. Like, literally, he said, okay, Alex, what are we going to do? And I wanted to play with the Joy, and he wanted to try alcohol ink and glitter. You might have played with glitter. I'm sure you played with glitter at some point.
Yeah.
But he's never used our glitter, I don't think.
I've swept it up with a vacuum.
Well, there you go. Now you've done something productive.
I've made one other card. I made Tammy a card one time for birthday or something.
Okay.
With the Cricut, but other than that, this is the first card I made. It's certainly the first time I ever touched done anything with the glitter and the alcohol inks. Like that. So.
Super fun.
Really,
and guys, thank you so much. Again, thank you, Troy,
for
taking some time out of your day to hang out with me.
Second thing, again, congratulations on 25,000 subscribers. So you guys, super important for people who are content creators for you to subscribe to their channels and watch, because it helps support the channel. We get paid pennies for every view, from advertising, and to subscribe is super important to us, and we appreciate all the viewers and the community that's out there that keeps it going, because like I said, once you hit about 25,000, I'm telling you, it's going to start like a landslide now. It's going to pile up, so it's a fun thing to watch grow.
It's so fun. And you know how they say, like, when you place an order on Etsy, like a maker does a happy dance because it's like a real small person. Well, It's that exact same way when you guys subscribe. And I know that sounds so silly because it may not seem like something that's that important to you, but it really is that exciting for us. So guys, thank you for coming along with my journey. Thanks for putting up with my antics and following along and doing all kinds of crafts with me, because it is so appreciated.
And we will do another video soon together.
Yeah, I don't know what it'll be. So tell us in the comments what you want to see.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments if you enjoyed bringing Troy along to see, like, doing something that he's never done before. Maybe next time I can try something I've never done.
Okay.
You can teach me sublimation or something like that.
All right.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.